Gemma here. So yoga today. This session is going to be particularly floor based. We are starting off in Savanasana, which is corpse pose. So that is laying down flat on the back. So I will get down with you, but obviously as I'll be teaching the relaxation and meditation, I'll come back up to a seated position. But you can have your cushion at this point, if you wish, underneath your head. So remembering, if you've got back issues, we just roll onto our side and come down. If we've got any back issues going on when we lay down and it feels uncomfortable in the back, we can pop a cushion underneath our back, we can put cushions under our knees, we can keep our knees bent, palms open, and we can extend the legs out. So if we've got no back issues, if we're comfortable with our legs extended, we can have them extended. If that's not comfortable, knees bent, feet flat to the floor. So just get yourself into a comfortable position. I'm just going to go through a few teaching points before we get going. So remembering that if we have any injuries, that this is not suitable for us to be doing. So if we've got any injuries, this is not a suitable session for us to be doing. If anything feels uncomfortable at any point, then we just stop. That's absolutely fine. We just stop. So we shouldn't be in pain at any time. We are going to be using our block and our strap in this session. Remember, if you don't have a block, that a hardback book is just as good. I mean, they're there as an aid, so we're going to use it, but it doesn't mean you have to have one, but a hardback book is just as good. And your strap, if you don't have a strap, a towel, dressing gown, towel and belt is really good. Or a pair of tights can be really good to use. So we're just going to be using those as we go through the session, but again, I will be giving you alternatives so that if you don't have them, it really doesn't matter. So now you've got yourself into a comfortable position, let us begin by closing our eyes. And if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, just find something to focus your eyes on. Palms are open and up to the universe. Shoulders are relaxed and down. We begin by breathing in Ujjayi breath. This is simply nasal breath. Breathing in through the nose, down into the chest, down into the belly, and then taking that breath all the way back up and letting it come out through the nose. So it may take a little bit of adjustment to just become accustomed to that breath. And just take your time with getting comfortable with how that breathing feels. Taking note of how your body feels, how your mind feels with each deep breath in you take and each exhalation. Feel that breath coming deep down into the belly. Feel the ribs expanding, the tummy expanding, and then allow that breath to come all the way back up and out. Take a little mental scan around the body. How does it feel? Is there any pain, tension, worry, sat anywhere within your body, within your mind, within your heart? Take your breath into that space. Hold it there for a moment. And then allow that breath to be released. Let us take that mental scan a few times around the body, allowing us to let go of anything that we no longer need, that no longer serves us in this space right now. Conscious of the ground beneath you and gravity above you, the four walls surrounding you. Allowing yourself to be held, feeling safe, feeling relaxed, feeling at ease. And as you lay there, I'm just going to read you a poem. And we'll try to keep this in mind as we go through our session. You are everything. If a butterfly can cause a hurricane, imagine what impact you have on your surroundings. Imagine just how much of the world is riding on you. What actions today will cause incredible transformations in the far-off future? You are fastened to the world, an exhale of the earth that lasts a lifetime. I'm sorry if you sometimes feel separate, but I'm here to tell you the truth. John Muir said that in nature, everything is hitched to everything else. So remember the thousands of little impacts you make every day. A spider at the centre of impact. Web spinning connections to all that is around you. Who then is to say there is you at all? I shall call you instead everything. A wave of the world, a smile with wings, divinity in disguise, dancing dust. Today, burn away the old masks. Inhabit your angels. Let your real face manifest like a far-off galaxy, discovered by the astronomer's eye. Let your inner wonder materialize. So as you lay there peacefully, relaxed and at ease, eyes still closed, breathing still deep, let us slowly begin our practice. If your knees are bent, just take them long, or maybe just take one leg long at a time if that's more comfortable for your back. But we're just going to point the toes. So just going to point the toes, and then we're going to flex the feet. So we're going to draw the toes towards our chest. So just point the toes, hold it there for a moment, and then draw the toes towards the chest. And then gently relax. Nice and steady, bend your right knee and draw it into your chest, taking your arms around that knee. Just stretching out into the lower back and into the glutes. Hold it there for a moment, still breathing in that Ujjayi breath. At this point, eyes can still be closed, or if you feel more comfortable, you can open them. We take a deep breath and we draw the knee a little bit closer to our heart center. And with each deep breath, as you exhale, drawing it that little bit closer, you feel a little bit more of the release. But remember, if anything feels painful or uncomfortable, we stop at any point. Take a moment to just go within. Where are you feeling this? How does it feel? Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Remembering if it's painful that we come out of position immediately. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, slowly let that leg come down. Slowly slide it out. Draw the opposite knee into the chest. And if you wish, you can rotate your ankles whilst in this posture. With each deep breath as we exhale, we're just drawing that knee a little bit more into the chest, releasing that little bit more into the lower back. I feel like as soon as I lift my legs up and they're in a bent position, I have this urge to rotate my ankles. It's just natural. So nice and steady, we're just holding it there. Again, take a moment to reflect within. Does it feel the same as the other side? Does it feel good? Bad? Is there any emotions that arise as you hold this stretch? And remember, if you don't feel comfortable with that going within, then just focus on merely your breath and your stretch. Now this time, taking a deep breath. As you exhale, bend the supporting knee and gently draw that in. Let us take both arms around the legs and let's begin to sway side to side. So drawing the knees into the chest with a gentle sway side to side, just massaging the lower back, the lumbar spine, the sacral spine. Very gently straightening both legs up. Now remember, if straightening them up feels a challenge, like I know I have quite tight hamstrings, if I go to straighten them up, it's very challenging. You might need to take them a little bit further away. There might be a slight bend in there, and that's okay. At this point, become conscious of your pelvic floor. So contracting the pelvic floor right from the back of the bottom through to the middle, round to the front. Remember, coming up onto that third floor and staying on that third floor. So we're pulling it all in. Drawing that belly button down into the spine, so we've got tension, stability. Take your hands, and we can either keep the head on the floor, we can take a deep breath in, and we can gently lift up and look down the body. But if that feels uncomfortable on the neck, keep the head down. Hold it there. So as you're drawing the knees towards the chest, the lower back's just going to lift fractionally a little bit off the floor. And as you can see, I've got a little bend in my knees going on. So if there's a bend there, that's fine. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Now take the knees either side of the tummy. Just holding the ankles. Draw the feet together. Now we can either keep the hands on the ankles, or we can take the hands interlock around the feet and keep drawing the feet towards the pelvis, pushing the knees away. So you're going to be feeling this on the inner thigh, opening up the hips and pelvis. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, gently trying to push and open those knees that little bit more. So if we have lower back issues, we tend to be tight in our hips, we tend to be tight in the pelvis, the inner thighs. So here we're really opening up the inner thighs, opening up the hips and pelvis, but just go with what feels comfortable, what feels right for you. Take a moment to just go within. Where are you really feeling that? For me, I'm really feeling it on my inner thighs. It feels good. It's like a good stretch, like I'm having a big yawn and just letting go. From here, separate the legs, holding the ankles or the arches of the feet. We're pulling the knees either side of the tummy and we're gently swaying side to side. So happy baby, pulling those knees down either side. Again, when we've got that gentle sway, we're massaging into the lumbar and sacral spine. Just enjoying that stretch. How does it feel? Opening up into the hips and pelvis. How does it feel around the hips? How does it feel on the thighs, the back of the thighs, the inside, the outside? And then just settle and hold the posture. Hold the posture. Taking a deep breath. As you exhale, take the soles of the feet together and draw the knees together. Bring the feet down. Feet and knees are side by side. Hands just resting on the rib cage. Just 5 past 2 and 5 to 2. So we're just gently swaying side to side. Remember, and if you want to go bigger with that movement, you can. But just let your back be your guide. So if anything feels uncomfortable, just keep that range small. So grabbing our strap, hopefully you've placed it near enough so that you can just grab it. We're going to take it round one of the feet. So just on the arches of the feet, and we're going to straighten that leg out. Stretching into the hamstrings now. So that's that muscle just along the back of the thigh. So we're holding it there. Remember, it's not about getting this leg down towards the chest. It is about stretching the back of this muscle. So that knee, that leg may need to be further away from the hip rather than too close to get that straightness. So we're holding the position nice and strong. We can keep this supporting leg bent, or you may prefer to straighten it out. I find when I straighten it out that I feel more of a pull in my lower back, so I keep my knee bent. But it's totally your choice. Taking a deep breath. As you exhale, can we draw it a little bit closer? And hold it. Take a deep breath again. Closer. And hold it. Remember, and if it feels too much, that you just ease it out. Or you can come out of the stretch completely. And again. So really feeling that into the hamstrings. Sometimes you can feel that stretch coming down into the glute. Now holding that strap, taking the opposite hand and keeping it on the thigh of the opposite leg, we're slowly going to let this leg come out towards the side. So slowly letting it come out towards the side. Now we can keep this leg bent, or we can straighten it out. We want to keep both bum cheeks on the floor, and we're just opening up the hips and pelvis. So our hips should be facing up like headlights of a car, up towards the ceiling. There's going to be some rotation, obviously, on the side that's extended out because we're taking the leg out. You're going to feel that on the inner thigh. Hold it there, nice and strong, just for a few moments. Taking a moment to really be present in the muscles. What's going on? What's it feeling? Is it feeling good? Is it feeling bad? And when I say bad, I don't necessarily mean pain. Maybe it could be the muscles fatiguing, or sometimes we can get into a posture and the body's like, oh, I don't like this. It's been stretched and I'm not used to this. But it's not causing you pain. If you were feeling pain, then I would recommend that you stop immediately. So taking a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring that leg across, taking a hold of the strap and let it come across the body. So here is where we're going to get that stretch into the glutes, into the piriformis. So piriformis around the top of the bottom. This is a good one for sciatica. So if you suffer with sciatica, even if it's just occasional sciatica, this is a nice one to do. So just holding it there. You're feeling it maybe in the glutes. Where else may you be feeling it? How does it feel? And you want to make sure that the back is on the mat. Okay, so the back's on the mat. We've got that pelvic engagement, that abdominal connection we mentioned earlier. And then very gently take a deep breath. As you exhale, bend that knee, slip the opposite leg up, keep both legs up for a moment and straighten them out as best as you can. So holding that strap, again, if we don't have a strap, we could just be holding the legs or just holding the legs in place. Taking a deep breath, drawing them closer, allowing the lower back to lift a little bit. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, sliding the leg out. So the leg that we've just stretched is coming down. We're now just stretching out into the back of this thigh. Again, we could be just holding the leg. We could be holding our leggings. If you've got a good pair of leggings on, you can generally just hold the leggings as you're drawing them. Or you can see this leg's like, no, don't want to stray out, no. So just take it a bit further away from the body. Hold it there. And remembering this supporting leg can be bent or it can be straight. Go with what feels right for you in your back. I find when I extend, I get an overextension because you see my spine's lifting. So I generally keep my knee bent. But we're all different. So have a go and see what feels right for you. I've got deterioration in my lower back. So my back muscles are, I try to strengthen them and so forth, but certain postures, certain moves, I find it does, I struggle. So I work around it with how it feels good and right for me. So holding it there. Now I'm just going to rotate my body out slightly because I've got a wall in the way. So taking a nice deep breath. As exhale, take that leg out to the side. Remembering we can keep that supporting leg bent or straight and hold it there. So you might find one side's tighter than the other, looser than the other. Both sides might be nice and loose. You might be having nice loose hips. I love hip envy. And we hold it in place. Hold it in place. How is it feeling? Where are you feeling it? Pelvic abdominal connection, Ujjayi breath going on. Deep breath, bring it up, bring it across the body. Ooh, and hold it there. So it's coming across the body now. Stay there, I'm just shifting myself a little bit. So again, you're going to be feeling that into the glutes, as I mentioned prior. Great for sciatica. Here we want our hips to be like the headlights of a car, facing up towards the ceiling. Obviously this hip's going to be a little bit on the leg width, it's extended across, the hip's going to be drawn slightly across, maybe slightly shielded by the leg. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, bring it back, slip both legs in again. So slipping both legs into the strap, or remember we can do this without the strap and just hook the back of the legs. Head can be resting down, or we could be lifting up and looking down the body. We take a deep breath. As we exhale, we're drawing them closer. So forgetting I had a strap, I could be holding on here, making sure that if you are doing that, you're not putting any pressure onto the back of the knees. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bend the knees, bring them down, pop your strap to the side. We're taking our block now. So remember, if you don't have a block, you could use a hardback book or you could use a cushion for this. So all I'm going to do, knees are bent, lift the bum up, taking the block, partially into the lower back, partially onto the bum, drawing both knees into the chest. So now I've got a little bit of a lift in my pelvis. It's a little bit of a tilt. Then bring my legs up, palms up. So another way we could do this is have the legs up the wall. Now, if we are on medication for our heart, or we've got any heart conditions, keep a good bend in the knees so that redirection of blood flow isn't too big, isn't too heavy. And you would do this for less time. We're not doing this for too long today, around about 30 seconds. And just hold it there. How does it feel? Where are you feeling it? Take a deep breath. As you exhale, gently bend the knees. Bring the feet flat to the floor. Now, keeping the block underneath, or the hardback book, or the cushion, or you may not have any of those. You might have just had your legs up against the wall, or just put your legs up against the sofa. That's absolutely fine. We're going into a yogic bridge, okay? So with the block or the hardback book or cushion, we've got a little bit of lift already. Hands by the side of the bum. Feet are underneath the knees, okay? So ankles beneath the knees. I'm going to take this cushion out. So if you've got a cushion underneath your head, take that away because that's going to add an overextension into the neck. Eyes want to be looking up towards the ceiling. But remember, if you're looking behind, to nod the chin. If you're looking in front, lift the chin. If you know you've got that overextension, then maybe a rolled up towel or a little cushion underneath the head will assist you in this. So pelvic floor's engaged, abdominal belt's connected. Take a deep breath. As exhale, we lift up. Now, as we lift, we take, so I'm going to take my block out from underneath me, take my hands underneath the bum, so you can do the same if you wish, and I'm just gently, hands are interlocked, I'm pushing my hands towards my feet. I'm lifting my hips and pelvis up. I'm tucking my shoulder blades a little bit underneath. So I'm going for a little bit of a curve. Now, if that feels uncomfortable, bring it down, take the curve out. Holding it here, nice strong deep breaths. You may be feeling this into the hips, the pelvis, the lower back. Take a deep breath. Hands come apart. Slowly upper back comes down, mid back comes down, lower back comes down. Hands onto the rib cage, feet come together. Gently roll side to side. Nice and steady. From here, taking a nice deep breath. As you exhale, roll onto one side and come over onto your tummy. So coming over onto the tummy. So elbows beneath the shoulders, fingers spread out in front. Remembering, if this is uncomfortable in the lower back, then just give me one hand on top of the other. Relax here for a few moments. Turn the head to one side. Have 10 breaths maybe. And then turn it to the other side. Have 10 breaths. So I never want you to be doing something that feels uncomfortable. So if you know you've got any issues with the lower back and this extension causes pressure, then just come out with it. Otherwise, we're resting on the hands. Eyes are looking slightly in front, juicy peach under the chin. Feet hip distance apart. I can stay here in Sphinx, or I can take a deep breath, and as I exhale, I can lift a bit higher or come down. So I'm just going to have 5 of these where I inhale, lift, exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale into Sphinx. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bring your hands down in front, let the head come down. Relax here for a moment. Take yourself within. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, 2 options. Hands by the side of the chest. We're going to push the bum back on towards the heels, or if you've got bad back issues, you can roll onto your side and come up onto your knees. Toes tucked under. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, we push back, coming into child's pose. So, knees are facing forward, bums towards the heels. Remember, if there's distance between the two, if we want to put cushions in there, we can. Maybe we want to put a cushion or a block in front of the head so the head's not dropping down. Maybe this feels uncomfortable. So if we've got large chest or we've got COVID poundage going on, take the knees a little bit wider. That's fine. Or if it's uncomfortable in the lower back, what we can do is keep the knees facing forward, but we can have the bum in the air, pushing the bum behind and up rather than pushing back and tucking under. So holding that position, nice and steady. So just in Balasana, that child's pose, whilst we're here, we can have those arms fully extended out, being conscious if we've got any shoulder issues that we can let the arms relax down and rest on the forearms. Let us have 5 hummingbee breaths. So we're breathing through the nose, out through the mouth. Just a big sigh, that's all we're doing. 3 more. Last 2. Last one. Excuse me. And then go back to that Ujjayi breath. Balasana, child's pose, is very much a restorative pose. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, slowly begin to come up. Walk the hands back. If you've got a cushion or block in front of you, you may want to move it to the side. We're now going to come onto all fours. So, very gently, hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Elbows are slightly soft. We're drawing the shoulder blades together. Tailbone is pushing to the back of the room. So that perfect table with the body. Eyes and nose are looking down towards the floor. They're not looking in front and they're not looking under. Very gently, pelvic tilts. We just tuck it under and up. So that movement should be merely in the lumbar, sacral spine, maybe a little bit in the thoracic, but we're aiming to try and keep it just in the lumbar. And this is just getting that synovial fluid pumping around. So just 2 more. And then stabilize into your table. Walk your hands just in front of your shoulders, fingers spread out, toes tucked under, ready for down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a deep breath. As we exhale, push up, bottoms up, head looking between the legs. Stay there for me. I'm just going to talk you through this. So, as you're holding this posture, what you want is your bum up in the air. So remember, we're proud as punch of our bottoms. In yoga, we're really pushing it up towards the ceiling. The tailbone is tucked under. The feet are hip distance apart, but if we need them a little bit wider, then that's absolutely fine as well. Heads relaxed, shoulder blades are drawing together. Let's hold that posture. Take a deep breath, and as if you're running on the spot, we bend opposing knees. Now I know the down dog is tiring on the wrist. And we've just been in table a moment before as well. Nice and steady, pushing the heels down. And then both heels down. Let the head relax. You're looking through. Take a deep breath. Come right up into the tiptoes. Push the bum further. Head relaxed even further between the arms. And then down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale. Head pushes back through the arms. Bum pushes up higher. And down. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, come down onto your knees. Come over onto your bum. Now, when we're on the bum, if we have any lower back issues, we can take our block, hard back book, place it underneath the bottom. You're going to take your legs long in front. So my legs are just extended long in front. I'll turn to a side in a second. Sitting nice and tall, you want the block to be on the soft part of your bum and the bones of your bum to be at the edge of the block. Hands are just resting on the thigh. Sitting nice and tall, shoulder blades back and down into that butt pocket. Staying where you are, I'm just taking a side view for you. We're just going to do caterpillar, forward fold. So taking a deep breath, walk it forward. Now being conscious that as you walk it forward, that you're not curling over, we're keeping length. So we're pulling the shoulders back and down, hands are resting on the thigh. I've got a juicy peach under my chin and I'm holding it here. Take a moment to reflect. Where are things feeling? Like I can feel this into my hips, into my lower back. As I exhale, I come a little bit further and I can feel it in a different space. I can feel it now along my back extensors, along my scapula, my shoulder blades. And I'm holding there, being conscious all the time of how I'm feeling as I move. I can sway from my hips side to side. And each time I sway, I go a little bit further and hold. And again, take a deep breath. A little bit further and hold. And remember that swaying, that side to side swaying, that allows the muscles to find their own pathway to take you deeper. And hold. One more time. Pulling those shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath. Slowly come up to seated. Stay where you are. I'm just changing direction. So if we're using that block or hard back book, staying in that same position where you've got your softness at the edge and the bones at the front, we're just going to bend the right leg, bring it over the top. Take an arm, hug this knee. Opposite hand comes behind. I've come a bit too close to the wall here, I think. And I'm looking over the shoulder. Now, rather than hug the knee, if I wanted to, I can push my arm against and bring it to 90 degrees. Looking over the shoulder. Stay there for me. So sitting nice and tall. Just noticed, and I apologise, I don't know if the picture behind me is lopsided, but my house is actually kind of lopsided all the way around. So it could just be the house, but it could be the wall. So if that's been bothering you through the session, I do apologise. Oh no, I've just said that and you're like, oh, I wish you hadn't said that, Gemma. Okay, holding it there, sitting nice and tall, feeling that stretch. Remember, we don't want to twist the neck, we're just looking gently over the shoulder. Take a deep breath. Exhale, come back. That same leg, let us just take a hold of it and bring the foot onto the side, onto the thigh of the opposite leg if we can. Now, if that feels uncomfortable, by all means, just pop it onto the floor, that's fine. You can do the same thing. All we're going to do is gently push down and lift up. Now, as we're doing this, it's also bringing movement into the ankle as well. So if that feels uncomfortable, If we bring it down on the floor, it means we've got less movement going on in the ankle. But if you've got ankle issues, that might be more comfortable for you. Or you might not be particularly flexible in your ankles. Most of us aren't. Children, you know, they're super flexible in their ankles, most of them. So just gently bring it down and up, down and up, down and up. And then very gently take it down. Can we hold it there for a few moments? Sitting nice and tall, shoulder blades back and down. Remember, even if that foot's just to the side, that's fine. And release, take it down. Opposite leg bends, comes across the body. We hug, one hand behind, or we could push against if we so wish. I'm going to go for a hug and look over the shoulder. I'm not twisting the neck, I'm just rotating, looking over. Take a deep breath. Gently come round. Bring that foot onto the top, remember, or just to the side. And let's begin to lift it up and down. Up and down. Inhale and exhale. Remember, you can do that with the foot on the floor. You don't have to have it up, and that's going to take the movement out of the ankle a little bit. It may make it a little bit more comfortable for you. And then just gently press down and hold it down. Sitting nice and tall. My one muscle that's looking impressive in my body these days, the old calf muscle. Sorry, I do come out with some randomness, I apologise. The only muscle I feel like I've been growing recently is cake belly, and I think I mention that every session, so I apologise. Nice and steady. Taking a deep breath. As you exhale, release. And take the soles of the feet together. So we can stay on the block still, but remember, we don't have to have the block underneath us. So we're coming into Baddha Konasana, okay? So that's that bound angle pose, cobbler pose. Soles of the feet together. We're gently, one hand on one knee, one hand on the other. Now what we want is when we place these hands down, we don't want to creep the shoulders up and become Beetlejuice heads. We want to be gently pressing down, shoulder blades are in those back pockets, and we're just gently opening up. So when I say that Beetlejuice head, it's just a reference to the movie, the little voodoo dolls. So a little shrunken head, so we don't want that. We want to always be lengthening. Take a deep breath. Taking a moment to go within. How are we feeling? And going back to like the poem that I read at the beginning, that we are everything. You know, that really resonates with me in the sense of as well that like every part of our body is connected. So you know, in the poem it talks about how one thing impacts another, how it impacts another. That's exactly what happens when we're doing our yoga practice. So we're sitting in this position now and we're working, open up the hips and pelvis, but that's gonna, you know, that's gonna pour into the back and make you feel different in your back, your shoulders. It's also helping to open up the root chakra, the sacral chakra, in fact, all 7 chakras, because we're opening up, whether you believe in those energy points or not. So it's all, everything is connected and everything. We're everything. So just take a moment to feel how you're feeling. What's going on in your body right now? Or your mind. In your mind it may be, Gemma, stop talking. Nice and steady, holding it there. Opening up. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, very gently let the legs release. Take your legs nice and wide. Stay in that same position, so if you're still on your block, bones are at the edge. Hands come to the knees, shoulder blades back and down. So again, making sure you're lifting, pulling everything back. So we're really lengthening. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, begin to fold. Begin conscious that we're not curling. So we're pulling those shoulder blades into the back pockets. We fold and we go as far as feels right, and we hold. Peach under the chin, so those eyes are going to be looking slightly forward in that wide forward fold. You're going to be feeling it along the inner thighs. Also going to be getting into the hamstrings along the back of the thighs as well. Take a deep breath. Go that little bit more if you can. Shoulder blades back and down. And again, take a deep breath. Ooh, hold it there. What's going on? What are we feeling? How's it feeling? Take a deep breath. Exhale, slowly come up. Sitting cross-legged. Okay, so Sukhanasana, that easy pose. Hands either side, we're forward folding again. So I know there's been a lot of forward folding here, but it's all about releasing into the lower back today. So it's a very gentle practice we're doing today. Take a deep breath. Walk it slightly forward. Hold it there. Take a deep breath. Walk it that little bit more. And slowly come back. Just notice the time, and I've gone completely over 45 minutes, so I better move you into a quick little relaxation, so I apologise. So staying in this Sukhanasana, this easy pose, but changing the way your legs are crossed if possible. So you'll ultimately cross your legs in your dominant, comfortable position to begin with. If sitting cross-legged is uncomfortable, then just have them like so, like so. You may want to prop yourself up against the wall, that's absolutely fine. So we're just going to finish off with a little bit of breath work just to end the session. So can we take our right hand and take it on top of our left hand and take the thumbs together, okay? So holding that position, shoulder blades back and down. This is our little bowl. We're going to take just 5 of that humming bee breaths, and as we breathe out, so that's that big sigh from the back of the throat, it's really about releasing and letting go. So 4 more. Last one. Excuse me. Okay, now just go back to Ujjayi breath. Close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Just breathe in that Ujjayi breath. Cheers me. And I'm just going to finish. And I've kind of rushed the end here, and I've kind of set myself a 45-minute target, and then I just completely lost track of the time. And we had a long relaxation at the beginning. So I'm going to go back to this, you are everything. If a butterfly can cause a hurricane, imagine what impact you have on your surroundings. Imagine just how much of the world is riding on you. What actions today will cause incredible transformations in the far-off future? You are fastened to the world, an exhale of the earth that lasts a lifetime. I'm sorry if you sometimes feel separate, but I'm here to tell you the truth. John Muir said that in nature, everything is hitched to everything else. So remember the thousands of little impacts you make every day. A spider at the centre of impact, web spinning connections to all that is around you. Who then is to say there is you at all? I shall call you instead everything. A wave of the world, a smile with wings, divinity in disguise, dance in dust. Today, burn away the old masks, inhabit your angels. Let your real face manifest like a far-off galaxy, discovered by the astronomer's eyes. Let your inner wonder materialize. Bring the hands together in prayer. Gently rub them together nice and fast, feeling warmth in the hands. Take them over your closed eyes. And slowly let the hands come away. Bringing your hands back to prayer. Namaste. Let the light in me reach the light in you. So I hope you're well. And I tell you what I will do. I'll just pull a card. So I love my cards. So let's just have a thought to end our session with today. So really focused on going in, really slow practice today, really releasing into the lower back, the hips and pelvis. So you may find that you ache a little bit in there tomorrow. So, I am not a has-been. I am a will be. I am not a has-been. I am a will be. So that's your thought for the day. I shall use that with my child today. Okay, well done. Take care.